Welcome to First Mover, your first global look at today's action in the Bitcoin, blockchain, and digital asset space. I'm your host, Christine Lee, and joining me are my co-hosts, CoinDesk Managing Editor of Global Capital Markets, Lawrence Lewitton, as well as Managing Director of International Content, Emily Parker. Good morning. We've got a full house today.
Yes, we do. Jam-packed.
Good to see the A-team back. All right, let's check in on Bitcoin. The CoinDesk Bitcoin price XVX index currently trading at $43,548. Bitcoin is up about 3.3% over the past 24 hours. And the CoinDesk Ether price ETX index is above that $3,000 threshold, trading at $373. Up about almost 6% over the past 24 hours. And the new DFX CoinDesk DeFi index is at 534. DeFi also charging ahead almost 5% for the day. The most reliable reference prices for institutions since 2014 are now published under the CoinDesk brand, trusted globally as the leader in crypto news, events, and data. So, Lawrence, we see the markets charging ahead after Fed comments yesterday that they will leave rates unchanged. Tapering may happen 6 or 7 times by the end of 2024. And also we have the expiration of some payments that Evergrande is supposed to make in China that they are expected to default on.
Well, we don't know yet exactly what's going to happen with Evergrande. That's still unclear. The deadline is today, of course, to pay a few million dollars in interest payment. And, whether it defaults or not, well, look, the Chinese government's told them, hey, guys, pay up, do your job, finish the projects you're supposed to finish, do all the things you're supposed to do. Coming from the Chinese government, that's a little bit stronger than coming from, let's say, the U.S. government. But nonetheless, it remains unclear as to whether that's going to happen. That's going to have an effect on the U.S. on crypto, primarily because you still have a lot of Asia trading going on in crypto. You have stable coins that are being backed by commercial paper, which may in fact be in China and not Evergrande itself, but other projects. And so the crypto markets, I'm surprised in many ways that it is what it is, because it should be looking at this and saying, gosh, this is actually a threat to crypto.
Well, Emily has been looking at the correlations between crypto and the traditional markets. What are the alts doing?
Yeah, so in recent days, when you looked at the price charts, it was generally a sea of red and then it was a sea of green. But there have been a few altcoins that have surged recently, kind of a couple outliers. We have ADA, Sol, Luna, and also AVAX, which is the Avalanche's coin. He recently hit a record of surging by about 24%. So we're definitely seeing some surges among the alts and breaking away from Bitcoin and Ether patterns.
All right, we'll see that. It's an ever-evolving story on the crypto markets. Also, we're looking at the city of Miami. They've just voted to accept over $4 million in gift contributions generated by Miamicoin, a city-based token launched last month by the City Coin protocol. And according to the Miami Mayor, Miamicoin generates $2,000 every 10 minutes for the city. It's incredible. Joining us now is Mayor Francis Suarez of Florida. Welcome, Mayor. So off the bat, love the hat. What is Miamicoin? What is it used for? And where does the value of it come from?
Well, first of all, it's actually close to 7 million already by now since we accepted the money. So it has remained at the same pace. Miamicoin is an interesting and different sort of variation of Bitcoin, frankly. It's based on the Bitcoin blockchain through a different blockchain that's called Stacks, which stacks on the Bitcoin blockchain and allows for smart contracts to hash on the Bitcoin blockchain. And so it was created by an organization called Citicoin. And what it does right now is it captures the excitement that Miami is delivering for the crypto community of the world. Miami is differentiating itself as a crypto capital of the world. It opened at about 4/10 of a cent in terms of value. The last time I checked it a few days ago was at 4.5 cents. So it's already grown 10x in value. And I think, again, that is a function of how exciting Miami is in the crypto world, and B, the understanding that a percentage of the accumulated stake that is used for mining goes to the city of Miami. It's actually 30% of all state coins for mining. So that it creates a new paradigm, a new dynamic that could raise for the city upwards of $60 million in the first year.
So, Your Honor, welcome back. You can stake Miamicoin, but does that put you in jeopardy with the SEC or state regulators? How is it different than, say, what Coinbase had proposed to do, what BlockFi was doing? Is this something that owners should be worried if they go out and stake it?
Well, we're not staking it just yet. We're going to spend about 6 months accumulating it, waiting to see what kind of volatility it has and sort of seeing it perform before we make any decisions relative to staking of the coins. But I think what's exciting about it is that it's generating, like I said, $2,000 or $3,000 every 10 minutes based on the volume of mining that's happening right now. So what you've essentially created is a different form of revenue generation for cities. It's not involuntary tax. It's not philanthropy. It's this other thing, and it's really a generational potential improvement that, taken to its logical extension, could theoretically create a scenario under which Miami pays for its municipal services without having to tax its residents, which would be obviously incredibly earth-shattering.
Mayor Suarez, it's definitely very cool, but let's just talk a little bit about the mechanics of this, right? So you're saying that it's we're seeing reports that this is up 430%, but just by the laws of the market, what goes up must go down, right? So I'm just I guess what is driving up the price of Miamicoin is just supply and demand. It's just a lot of people kind of getting into the action, and then sort of the other side of that is what happens, if it crashes. I mean, if this is like a market-driven coin, it could crash, right? I mean, will the city step in, or what if people start losing their savings on Miamicoin? So I guess my question is what's driving these price fluctuations, and is there anything in place to protect people if the coin suddenly crashes?
Well, first of all, I just want to be clear that this is not our coin. In other words, this was developed by a group of people. We have been monitoring. We've done a significant amount of due diligence on the coin, how it was structured, and how it's to the public. But we bear no liability whatsoever for people's investment decisions, good or bad. What goes up must come down is sort of some sort of an investment truism, I guess, for some. It hasn't really worked out that way for Bitcoin. Over the life of Bitcoin, it has essentially gone up. What's been interesting about Bitcoin is that its use case right now has been essentially a store of value. And the question is, does Miamicoin remain a store of value, right, where people are excited about the brand and finding it a coin that maintains its value or increases its value over time? Or does it have a different use case? We are working in the city to create a variety of different use cases because we feel that if Miamicoin metamorphosizes into a currency, right now it's trading at 4.5 cents as opposed to Bitcoin that, as you said, was trading at $43,000. There exists a possibility that it could have wide use and wide applicability. And that would be interesting because it would generate a significant amount of dollars for the city and create a coin that actually has
You talk about uses. So what is it used for? I mean, can I pay my taxes with it? Can people pay their parking tickets with it?
Well, like I said, it just launched about a month ago. And it happened. And when you look at the sort of what I call the mainstreaming of a coin and compare it to Bitcoin, it's actually been mainstreaming significantly faster, in part because obviously Bitcoin has mainstream that has made cryptocurrencies much more mainstream generally. But right now, the first thing you had to do is just create a sort of a network of miners, right? I mean, to create the kind of volume and traffic, you have to create a network of miners that are willing to mine the coin so that it can be transferred efficiently back and forth. I think now that happens, I had a developer last night tell me that they were going to make a public announcement that they would accept Miamicoin to buy and sell real estate. That would be the first announcement of its kind. It would be very, very big news. But what we want to do is we want to try to help get it into small businesses, supermarkets, restaurants, and things of that nature, so that they can accept Miamicoin. Obviously, if they feel comfortable keeping it, they can. If not, they can convert it to dollars instantly because there's a market for it. They can get the dollars back. But it's just an exciting new prospect of what a cryptocurrency can do for a city in terms of the revenue generation, which is astronomical.
For some folks, this might appear like they're essentially printing money out of thin air. So I wonder if you could address some of those concerns. And we also looked at the webpage of the Citicoin, talking about Miamicoin, and they talk about 430% yield. And I wonder, how is that possible? And I mean, Lawrence touched upon this. I mean, would that raise some eyebrows with the SEC?
Well, look, I think all cryptocurrencies right now are being looked at by the SEC, and I think regulation is inevitable in the future. I think the key for cities like ours and for everyone who's involved in cryptocurrencies that the regulations be something that does not stifle innovation. Right? We want to make sure that we can be the most innovative, city on the planet, the most innovative country on the planet, and we don't want to do anything that creates regulation that kills the innovation that we're seeing in this space. In terms of your first question, Miamicoin is not too much different from what Bitcoin was at the beginning. People are excited to trade it. They want to hold it. They believe that it has value. Oftentimes people don't understand why Bitcoin has value. And I explain to them, value is anything that we assign value to. Once we start trading in it and create a market for it and it has liquidity, then it has value. And it has value that's very easy to get in and out of. Like the difference between dollars and euros and dollars and francs and dollars and yen. So they're just different sorts of currencies that have values that are set by the market. So, that's the way that Bitcoin had value, and it has a tremendous amount of value. It still has some level of volatility. And Miamicoin has been pretty stable in its beginning, but certainly could be volatile. There's absolutely no reason to believe that it wouldn't possibly be volatile based on the way Bitcoin has performed since it started.
Mayor Suarez, so the difference between Bitcoin and Miamicoin, though, is that I assume that some public money is being used to mine it. Is there any cost to the taxpayer
Zero.
at all? There's zero cost. So in other words, my tax dollars aren't going, to mining it, and I'm not paying.
This is 100%. No, I'm sorry. This is 100% profit. So let me explain to you the way it works. So the mining transaction, let's use Bitcoin as an example. When you have a proof of work Bitcoin mine, the miner gets a reward, essentially, right, for mining that transaction. Otherwise, you wouldn't have miners. You wouldn't have a clearinghouse that acts to clear transactions from one person to the other, as the Fed does for fiat currencies. In the case of Miamicoin protocol, the program that created Miamicoin requires 30% of all the money that's staked in the proof of transfer mine to go to the city. So it's an automatic transfer. It goes directly into an electronic wallet for the city, and the city can claim it at any time. All we did was claim the money that had been generated through the protocol. So we put $0. There's zero investment. There's zero risk to the city, and it's all benefit.
But there's nothing yet that you can actually use the coin for, correct? Like that. In other words, if I hoard my Miamicoin at the moment, right now, I'm not getting a discount to seeing a game or anything at the moment, correct?
At the moment, but you could argue the same thing about Bitcoin. I mean, people are not going into a supermarket to buy a Snickers with Bitcoin, right? So the point is that Bitcoin is a store of value right now, predominantly, right? And the question is whether Bitcoin will ever metamorphosize into a currency. In this case, because Miamicoin is 4.5 cents, it's much converted into a currency than something that's worth $43,000 that is appreciating, that people are afraid to sort of let go, right? Because they want to hold it. So either one works for me, by the way. If Bitcoin does become a currency, I think that's wonderful for the world, because I think we get off the dependency of fiat, which I think is really what cryptocurrencies were created to do. What's beautiful about Miamicoin is we get a benefit, right? The city gets a huge benefit that is, enormous, and that could be paradigm shifting, particularly for a generation that's looking for solutions to public sector problems and doesn't want to raise taxes.
Mayor Suarez, if I understand correctly, right now the only place that you can buy Miamicoin is on OKCoin, an exchange. Is that correct? Which means that, and OKCoin is not licensed, for example, in the city of New York. So that means, I guess, like New Yorkers aren't able to buy Miamicoin. Are there plans to expand to more exchanges?
Well, like I said, we don't control Miamicoin. But I would like to see it on more exchanges. In fact, I'd like to see it on all exchanges. And obviously, the more exchanges that it's on, the more it benefits the city, because the more that it's bought and sold and the more that it's mined and the more that it generates for the city. So I personally would like to see it on every single exchange on the planet, if I could. And certainly, we're going to continue to push the powers that be to do that, because we think that that's the right thing to do, and that creates ubiquity, that creates more liquidity, more transactions, and more mining proceeds for the city. So that's something that I'd like to see for sure.
Mayor Suarez, so let me understand, what is the relationship between Miamicoin and the city of Miami, if any? And still, again, I'm still wondering, how do you earn up to 430% on your crypto with Miamicoin?
Well, we're not, the relationship is we're the beneficiary, right? That's the relationship from people who mine Miamicoin. That is essentially the relationship. I've talked about it, and I'm talking about it simply because A, we benefit from it, and B, I think it's something that could be revolutionary. And I've done a significant amount of due diligence on it, and there's still more due diligence to do. So that's essentially the relationship, if any. I forgot the second question. Oh, the staking.
430% yield. If you go onto the Miamicoin website, it says that you can earn up to 430% in yield.
Stakes. Yeah. Look, I don't know exactly how they earn that kind of yield on it. That's something that OKCoin obviously, I suppose, guarantees. So, maybe you can try it out with $1 and see if you get that kind of a yield and it works or not.
All right, Mayor Suarez, it's a very incredible project. Very looking forward to seeing how it goes through. Thank you for joining us this morning and talking about Miamicoin. All right, that was the Mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, coming up, talking to Robinhood about their new crypto wallet and delving deeper into crypto, plus our crypto markets update with MarketGauge Group.
The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
Robinhood aims to make its long-awaited crypto wallet available to all customers by early 2022. You can now join a wait list to get early access to the wallet as soon as it launches. And joining us now is Christine Brown, Chief Operating Officer and Crypto Lead at Robinhood. Welcome to the show, Christine. So the common phrase is not your keys, not your crypto, meaning users can't currently buy and hold actual Bitcoin on Robinhood. Does this wallet change things?
So what this does is it enables our users to move their assets on or off the platform. So if a user uses Robinhood to buy, their favorite coin, commission-free, they can then move it to their own private wallet, manage their keys if they want to, or they can keep it with us, and we will provide this hosted solution where they can also deposit, right? If they want to come centralize their coins in one place, they can do that as well.
So hi, Christine. I think that one of the main questions here is that how does Robinhood compete with all these crypto exchanges in the US, right? I mean, what is the advantage of doing your crypto through Robinhood as opposed to Coinbase or Kraken or some of these big exchanges that do this full time?
Yeah, I think that we've seen a few things when it comes to why are customers coming to our platform specifically? Why are they coming to Robinhood? The first is that the app is easy to use and it puts crypto right next to your other investments, right? You can open an account and you can have your crypto next to your brokerage investments, next to your cash management investments, right? It's a one-stop shop for really everything you would need. In addition to that, we don't charge commissions, right? So when you come and you place a $100 trade, you're getting $100 of the coin that you buy, and we're not eating away at your assets by charging a commission on top of it. I think thirdly, for a lot of retail investors that are just getting into crypto, it's a new space, and Robinhood has educational tools and products that make getting started very easy, right? So if you want to just dip your toe in, Robinhood's a great place to do it. We have products that are really for the long-term investor, like dollar cost averaging. We have a recurring product where you can buy a little bit amount at a recurring basis, which makes the markets a little less intimidating for people.
Morning, Christine. So are you doing payment for order flow with crypto as well? And if so, with whom? And what do you make of? Sure.
So we do route our trades to trading venues who execute the orders for us. We think that this allows us to get the best price for customers in terms of having them compete on pricing, as well as not having to charge a commission on top of that. Robinhood in general revolutionized the brokerage industry by offering zero commission trading. Before Robinhood, most people were charging about $7 per trade, which I think was really not great for the retail investor, right? You think of, I want to place a small trade, a $50 trade. $7 is a huge percentage of that. Today in the crypto exchange space, we still see people charging commissions, which is a really outdated model.
So, who are your counterparties with this with payment for order flow here? Who are the largest ones? I mean, we know who they are for your equity side, but who is it for crypto?
Yeah, we have a few different trading venues that we work with. We actually aren't talking about or disclosing publicly, who they are, but we think that we vet and make sure that they are providing us great pricing and a competitive market for our customers to come in. I think at the end of the day, what matters is how much coin you're getting for your cash. And so if you stack us up against the competitors, I think the results will speak for themselves.
So SEC Chairman Gensler has come out strongly against payment for order flows. He's obviously not a fan of that. He's also come out strongly against the crypto markets. First of all, what do you think of that? And what's your plan B if regulations start to clamp down on payment for order flows in the crypto markets as well?
Yeah, when it comes to payment for order flow in our equities business, I'm really not the expert there. I do think that our chief legal officer, Dan Gallagher, has kind of shared a perspective that I would echo or reference in terms of, where Robinhood stands on the PFOP issue. In terms of crypto regulation more broadly, we are still at such an early stage of crypto adoption and the crypto markets. When you look at the adoption and how many people in the US alone are trading or holding crypto, we've still only scratched the surface. So I think there's a long way to go when it comes to retail availability and kind of more people participating and getting access to the markets. I do think that will come with additional thoughts around regulation of how to make sure that customers are being protected. And in that sense, we line up with kind of that regulatory posture of we want to make sure customers are protected. We want to make sure that they're getting the best outcomes. Again, not everything has to be regulatory enforced for it to be something that at Robinhood we build products to. A great example is taxes, right? Crypto taxes are kind of confusing, right? A lot of people have giant spreadsheets that they constantly have to work through every April. We saw this early on, and we have been providing 1099s and cost basis tax information for our users on our crypto product, even though it's not a regulatory requirement. So while I think that there is a kind of broadening regulatory landscape, I think at the end of the day, what we're going to be building is what's best for our users.
Christine, speaking of regulatory scrutiny, earlier this year, obviously, Robinhood was speaking a lot in Congress and received a lot of criticism over the pausing of trading both in crypto and stocks due to what many believe was order book manipulation. Any thoughts onto the lessons learned and what the plan is going forward?
I think what we saw earlier this year was a generational shift in how we invest, right? How do people think about the markets? What do they want access to? And how are they going to put their dollars behind, different investments? And Robinhood was really at the center of that. I think what we learned is that we can be this platform where that generational shift is happening. And we've spent on the crypto side specifically a lot of time investing in not only kind of our additional products like our wallet product that we're talking about today, but investing in system hardening and scalability so that we can be there for our customers in the moments that they need us the most.
All right, Christine. Well, thanks for joining the show. And that crypto wallet is available for sign up at Robinhood. That was Robinhood CEO and crypto lead Christine Brown.
The Crypto Markets Update is presented by Grayscale, the world's largest digital currency asset manager.
Let's have a live look at Bitcoin. The CoinDesk Bitcoin price XVX index currently trading at $43,664. Bitcoin is up about 3% over the past 24 hours. And the CoinDesk Ether price ETX index is at 3074. ETH is also charging ahead almost 6% over the past 24 hours. And the new DFX CoinDesk DeFi index is at 535. DeFi also advancing almost 5% for the day. And joining us now to discuss the crypto markets is Michele Schneider, Managing Director at MarketGauge Group in New Mexico. Hey there, Michele. So we just had Robinhood on, and I know you have some thoughts on Robin. So perhaps you could give us your reaction to their new crypto wallet, as well as, their plans after the scrutiny they received by regulators in DC.
Okay, well, first of all, yes, I think that they definitely deserve credit for some of the things that she said about being pioneers in the commission-free trading and also in really being able to capture a retail investor that before had really been sort of eluded. So I think that that's all good. In terms of Robinhood itself, of course, there were a couple of great questions Lawrence asked about order flow, which I didn't really get a good satisfied answer for, and also regulations that could be coming out of Gensler, which also I didn't get a really good sense of her